This video was actually made accompanying an article I wrote on the Precision Response Training website. The article is about what exactly I look for when I review my match videos, what sort of things I'm looking for in terms of errors, what sort of skills it tells me I should be practicing, and so on. So if you want some more information, please make sure to read that article on the PRT website, which should be linked below. For stage 1, it is a 12-round Virginia count stage. There's an unloaded table start, a mandatory reload in the middle, and then strong hand only shooting after the reload. So lots of skills being tested here. Here's what it looked like.
Stand by!
Let's look at that a little slower. So you can see that the first thing I need to work on are my unloaded starts. Obviously I had trouble working the slide on that, which is kind of weird since Glocks are what I'm used to. But it is true I'm not used to trying to fight against a 23-round magazine either, so I need to work on that. Shooting-wise, that went fairly well, though it's obviously true that given how close everything was, I should have shot considerably faster. On the other hand, I was trying to make sure I was controlling the dot, so I was doing what I was supposed to. But I should be a lot faster. The reload itself was perfectly fine. Not especially fast, but it was adequate. The shot after the reload actually went well. I paid attention to the dot, I pulled the trigger correctly, and got an A. The second shot on the left target, on the other hand, I wasn't paying any attention and simply pulled the trigger and hoped a lot, which is why I got a D and almost a miss for that particular shot. I paid more attention that time to the dot, got 2 alphas that time, so that was perfectly good. I note I'm canting the gun a lot here, and with the dot, that's going to make a big difference, especially compared to iron sights, for example. So I need to stop doing that and get the gun more vertical. So now we move on to the second stage. The second stage is pure movement sort of thing. Most of the targets are incredibly close. While there are some no-shoots there, you generally have a lot to shoot at. So draw, start shooting, and keep moving the entire time.
Stand by!
And just like the first stage, there's actually quite a few things to note here. The first thing to note is that I completely screwed up my draw. Look how far the gun is up and outward, and I still don't have my second hand gripped on it correctly. I didn't actually get the grip finished until almost after the entire draw sequence was finished, which is awful. After the entry to the second shooting position, note the pause between the first and the second shot. I'm not used to the reset of the trigger on this particular gun yet, and so I had trigger freeze for a second. I'm coming into a very open target. I should have been able to rip 2 quick shots and move on. This cost me a bunch of time. Two things about what we just saw, the first of which is actually a good thing regarding movement. You'll notice my stance is nice and low, and as soon as I'm finished shooting the last shot of a particular array, I'm driving immediately to start going to the next array. That's a good thing. I want to keep doing that. I've got to work on keeping my stance nice and low. The bad thing, and it's similar to what we said before, is in the last array there were 4 separate targets, one of which was completely wide open, and yet I shot it at the same speed that I shot the 3 partial targets. I'm still not used to the dot. As I work on things, I should be able to shoot considerably faster. Good thing there, the gun was up and ready to go the minute I could see the target around the wall, and I could immediately start shooting. No idea why I fired 3 shots there. All of them were right in the same area. So those were some of the things that I look at when I review the video of me shooting various matches. Just from this one, you can see I need to work on my draws, loading from an unloaded start sort of thing. And I also need to start working on shot speed based on target difficulty. In other words, I need to get used to the dot better. I also need to work on my trigger, specifically not having trigger freeze and getting used to that reset. On the other hand, some good things did happen. The movement was good, stance was nice and low, the gun was ready when I was entering shooting positions and such, so that went well. But nonetheless, there's obviously quite a bit I could be working on here.